Good morning/afternoon, everyone. I'm excited to take you on a journey through Puerto Rico, exploring its rich culture, fascinating history, and the complex political future that shapes the island today. We'll dive into the diverse heritage that makes Puerto Rico unique, examine its current political status, and discuss the ongoing debate surrounding statehood. Let's get started. Puerto Rico is an island situated in the northeastern Caribbean Sea, positioned between the Dominican Republic to the west and the Virgin Islands to the east. This location places it at a crossroads of the Caribbean, making it a key cultural and geographic hub. The island's population is remarkably diverse, reflecting a rich mix of ethnic backgrounds that have contributed to its unique identity. Culturally, Puerto Rico is vibrant and layered, shaped by influences from its indigenous peoples, European colonizers, and African heritage. Politically, Puerto Rico holds a distinctive position as an unincorporated territory of the United States, which means it has a special relationship with the U.S. that impacts its governance and political status in important ways. Puerto Rico's cultural heritage is a rich blend of several influences that shape its unique identity. First, we have the indigenous Taino heritage, which forms the island's original roots. You can see this influence in the language, especially in place names that have been preserved over time. Then there's the Spanish colonial period, which lasted for more than 4 centuries. This era brought significant changes, including the introduction of the Spanish language, Catholic religion, distinctive architecture, and a legal framework that still impacts Puerto Rican society. Additionally, the African heritage plays a crucial role, particularly in the vibrant music, dance, and cuisine, which all tell stories of the transatlantic slave trade and the resilience of the African descendants. Together, these elements combine to create the complex and colorful cultural tapestry that defines Puerto Rico today, making it a place of great historical depth and cultural richness. In Puerto Rico, both Spanish and English are spoken, but Spanish is definitely the dominant language, especially in everyday life and in schools. One cherished tradition is the parranda, which is a festive Christmas custom where groups of friends and family go from house to house singing lively carols, creating a joyful and communal atmosphere. Another important cultural milestone is the Quinceañera celebration, which marks a young girl's transition into womanhood at the age of 15. This event is rich with symbolism and family involvement. Overall, these traditions highlight the deep importance of family, religion, and cultural heritage in Puerto Rican society, shaping a strong sense of identity and community. Puerto Rico has a vibrant and dynamic music scene that really reflects its rich cultural heritage. Salsa, with its lively Afro-Caribbean rhythms, has been a staple for decades, while reggaeton, which actually started right here on the island, brings a modern, urban edge to the music landscape. When it comes to festivals, the San Sebastian Festival in Old San Juan is a highlight. It's a lively celebration of local arts, crafts, and performances that really brings the community together. And you can't talk about Puerto Rico without mentioning the food. Traditional dishes like lechon, a delicious roasted pork, and mofongo, made from mashed plantains, are not just meals. They're an essential part of the island's culture and history. Puerto Rico was first discovered and colonized by Spain in 1493, marking the beginning of centuries under Spanish rule. This colonial period deeply influenced the island's culture and development. Fast forward to 1898. The Spanish-American War came to an end with the Treaty of Paris. As a result of this treaty, Puerto Rico was ceded from Spain to the United States. Since then, Puerto Rico has undergone significant political changes under U.S. governance, working to find a balance between local self-government and federal oversight. This transition from Spanish to American control has had a profound impact on Puerto Rico's social, political, and economic landscape. Puerto Rico functions as a commonwealth, meaning it has its own constitution and governs itself internally. However, it still falls under U.S. federal law. While Puerto Ricans are U.S. citizens, they face significant political limitations. They cannot vote in presidential elections, and they do not have voting representation in Congress. This Commonwealth status grants a certain level of autonomy, but also restricts political rights and limits access to some federal programs. So, even with self-governance and citizenship, these political and federal limitations remain significant. Supporters of Puerto Rican statehood highlight several key benefits. First, statehood would grant full voting rights, which means Puerto Ricans would have representation in the U.S. Congress and the ability to vote for president, giving them a direct voice in federal decisions. Second, they stress the economic advantages that come with statehood, such as equal access to federal funding, social programs, and increased investment opportunities, which could significantly boost the island's economy. Finally, statehood is viewed as a way to achieve political equality, allowing Puerto Rico to be more fully integrated into the United States and ensuring its residents enjoy the same rights and responsibilities as other Americans. Some people opposed to Puerto Rico becoming a state worry about losing the island's unique cultural identity, which they feel could be overshadowed or diluted. Another major concern is political autonomy. Many fear that statehood would bring stricter federal regulations that might not match the island's specific needs and priorities, potentially limiting local decision-making power. Additionally, economic concerns play a big role in the debate. Opponents are worried about possible higher taxes and the uncertain effects statehood could have on the local economy and important social programs. These worries highlight the complexity behind the decision and why some are hesitant about statehood. In recent years, we've seen Puerto Rico hold several referendums focused on statehood, and what's notable is that support for becoming a state has been steadily growing. At the same time, the U.S. Congress has been actively engaged, holding hearings and putting forward proposals to address Puerto Rico's political status. However, despite these efforts from both the people and lawmakers, there hasn't been a clear or final decision on the matter yet. Meanwhile, public opinion on the island is gradually shifting more in favor of statehood, driven by ongoing conversations around governance, identity, and economic opportunities. This evolving landscape highlights how complex and significant this issue remains for Puerto Rico's future. Puerto Rican cultural identity is at the heart of how people here think about the island's political status. For many, culture and language aren't just aspects of daily life. They're deeply connected to the idea of autonomy and self-determination. This strong cultural connection shapes whether someone leans towards statehood, independence, or prefers to keep the current Commonwealth status. It's important to recognize that these political views aren't simple or uniform. They are shaped by Puerto Rico's unique history, economic realities, and hopes for what the future might hold. This complexity highlights just how deeply intertwined identity and politics truly are on the island. Puerto Rico stands at a crossroads with several potential paths forward. It could become a full U.S. state, maintain its status with greater autonomy, or even move toward independence. Each option carries different implications for its future. What's clear is that the island's rich cultural vibrancy plays a crucial role in these conversations. It reminds us that identity and heritage are just as important as the political questions at hand. As these debates unfold, Puerto Rico's unique situation will continue to influence its development and impact the daily lives of its people in significant ways.